Welcome everybody back to the Gorillaz High Performance Garage channel. Just decided to do a video. I was very annoyed here a little bit ago. And it's another motherfucking Sunday. I'm not sure what time it is, but I'm sure it's afternoon because, Sundays fucking fly because you have to go to work the next day. I was sitting in the house watching some videos, because I like to relax on Sundays. I like to do a whole lot because I like to rest up for work. But, I was getting annoyed, listening to people bitch and moan about everything in there. So I decided to come back out here to the garage. I'm going to lift some weights. I'm going to do a little bit of video watching while I'm out here. Maybe fuck with my truck a little bit. Fuck, that goddamn headlight was annoying me when I was leaving the Chat and Chew last night. It was, I had a headlight that didn't want to come on, and it was real dim, and there's something going on there. I think I need to bend the prongs on the headlight. I'll probably have to take the headlight out and fuck with it, but boy, it is just hotter than holy hell out right now. And I decided to come over here and try to be less annoyed. And the more shit I look at, I'm more annoyed and aggravated. And sometimes it gets to me and I throw a bitch fit. And I start off in a fucking rant. Now, one thing though, I have the utmost respect for anyone that, has courage enough to build something, automotive, make it their own, put their own flair on it. I'm all for that. That is awesome. I like seeing that stuff. And, I appreciate it more from the underdog. Like, people that, go out there, don't have a lot of money. They purchase something and it takes them years to build it to what they want. It's great. It's fine. And, you can learn along the way. That's what I like. I like builds like that. I like people like that to go out and, they test the waters. They get something that's kind of junky and they turn it into something awesome. And they don't have a lot of money. They're kind of, they're nickel and diming it and they're doing what they can to make it work. That's what I've done all my life because I'm not made of money. I have bills. I have things I have to do here. I have upkeep of things I have to do. I don't always have time to work on stuff. I try to make the time as much as I can, but a lot of times it don't work out that way. Either you just don't have the money or you just don't have the time. Now, I'm going to go to a video here on YouTube I'm going to show you that made me very annoyed. One thing I despise is shows like Gas Monkey Garage and stuff like that. And shows that have these fake ass fucking deadlines and stuff. I really hate those shows because these people have money hanging out of their ass. They can afford to go rip somebody off, go find a vehicle in somebody's yard or somebody's garage sitting and rip them off, give them jack shit for it, and then take it, make this awesome fucking build with it, put everything of the absolute most technology and expense goes into this, and they end up going to the SEMA show or ripping somebody else off by selling the fucking thing for thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, Shit like that because, an asshole like Richard Rawlings, oh, I'm cool, I drink beer, I'm the greatest, I'm trying to look like Wolfman Jack for some reason. And I think I'm the greatest because I have money hanging out of my asshole. He's a fucking dick. I don't like that motherfucker at all. But that's just my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, well, you're welcome to have your own. But anyhow, I don't watch it much anymore. There was one thing that caught my eye this morning, and I watched it. Damn it, I can't even speak. Autotopia LA. Los Angeles sucks. these days because it's rich assholes, and you have rich assholes, and then you have the homeless, and there's a shitload of homeless out there everywhere. And I mean, these and nobody gives a fuck about them. They just kind of, push them to the wayside. And plus, they're a sanctuary city. They're taking immigrants in there left and right, but they have nowhere to go. The immigrants do. But, people out there that are, middle class, basically, they've shoved them out in the street and put immigrants in their fucking homes and in hotels and stuff like New York City's doing. They're throwing veterans out of their fucking homes. Fucking people that defended our nation from communists. They've taken them out of their homes and thrown them out in the street and give immigrants that have done absolutely nothing for this fucking country and put them in their place. Which is fucking wrong. I hate that shit. But this Autotopia LA, they do these... The guy goes around and interviews people that have these builds and stuff. And most 3/4 of these people didn't even touch a fucking bolt on the car. They went out with the money that they had hanging out of their ass and bought it. They bought a vehicle and then took it to these professionals and had it all done up. That really fucking gets under my skin. And it's like, if you're rich and you have the money, just go out and buy something. Just go out to one of these old car dealers and just buy a bunch of fucking old cars and get it over with. Have a fucking big motor put in it, rip and tear. Oh, great. Yeah, I'm happy for you. Yay. Now, the one episode of the Autotopia LA I liked, the guy that had this old international flatbed or dump truck, and he turned it into a rat rod. It was pretty awesome because he had rigged all this stuff together because he knew suspensions and he worked on big trucks before, and plus he worked on, basically anything automotive. He put together his own thing, which was fucking awesome. It was an awesome build. And, it looked kind of trashy. His engine leaked oil. It wasn't nothing to look at, but but it was awesome. It was small block Chevy powering this great big fucking truck. And it was an old international truck is what it was. And he made it work. And it, drags the frame on the ground shit and fire flies out from under it. It's pretty cool. And it didn't take a shitload of money to make this. I mean, he has some money in it, yeah. But it's not to the point where, the average person couldn't have done this. The average hot rodder like myself that doesn't have a lot of money hanging out there, I could have built something like this, yes. But do I have that kind of stuff here? I live on the East Coast. I live in high elevation. It's the salt plains around here. I mean, in the wintertime, it's fucking, I live in the fucking Rust Belt. So, anyway, then the rest of the builds he shows on there is fucking ridiculous fucking shit. And it's like, it ain't no fucking wonder that these builds are what they are. It's because rich assholes throwed money at other rich assholes to build them for them. And it's like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And you get this guy on there bragging up this fucking Camaro. You've probably already seen the video or whatever, but I'm going to show it. My thing went to the screensaver. I'm going to show it on here. Because, there it is. It's the Road Rage Camaro. I started getting annoyed. But we're gonna try and play some of it. Here's a commercial.
So. Yeah, we're like a bundle. Speaking.
Okay, skip the ad.
I think we've handled a lot of the mechanical stuff. There might be more. Let's jump.
But this guy owns this car.
The mods on this car. Let's come back up to the front, dude. The splitter on this thing, bro.
Splitter's pretty wild. This is kind of the refinement of the predecessor of this car, Rampage.
The splitter on this thing, bro. Look at, oh my god, I'm gonna jerk off on it.
Yeah. Before. So this is the street, more refined version. So off of that kit that we developed, and it had all the molds.
You didn't develop shit, bitch.
Same thing.
Somebody else developed that shit for you.
Refine some edges. So that's all carbon fiber. Actually, all of the side skirts and fenders are all carbon fiber as well, but all that's painted. We don't want to go overboard and show everything in carbon. It's still
I love that you guys left it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know if those were fiberglass or if they're. I mean, I can tell they're not metal.
Yeah, they're
like,
carbon.
That's friggin' artistic.
The host of the show, he's all right. He seems like he's an all right guy. But for you to go somewhere and slobber over something that a bunch of rich assholes built, that's just not my cup of tea. I mean, you may have your own opinion on this stuff, but I have an asshole opinion on it because these people have money. Their stuff should be nice. You know, they should have a channel on here devoted to builds that poor ass motherfuckers have fucking stretched their goddamn bank accounts to try and build, you know, and tried to fucking, had to pay their bills in there too. These people, they're the kind of people that live tax free. They don't have to pay their taxes because they make just enough money because, you know as well as I do that every rich person in this fucking United States doesn't pay taxes. Anybody that goes out there and has to, work a goddamn shovel or operate something, and we all have to pay their taxes. We pay everybody's fucking taxes because the country is on our backs. We carry this country, us working folks. Us blue-collar motherfuckers, we fucking carry this country. These rich assholes on this show, they don't. They sit around and build shit all fucking day. Well, they don't even build it. They hire people to build stuff for them all day. And they can sit around, fucking sip their fucking champagne and eat their fucking escargot and caviar and whatever else is. And then they have a car built and then they sit in their living room and have a fucking dinner party around it. Oh, Cedric, look at me. God, I hate that. God, I would just like to reach through there and punch that motherfucker in the throat, right through the TV. It would be so awesome to watch him sit there and choke and gag. And then I could take a piss in their fucking champagne. I would rather do that. That would make me happy. And then watch them drink it and watch them all fucking vomit for like a week straight. That would be fucking awesome. Am I annoyed at all? Might it seem like I'm annoyed to anybody here? Because that fucking shit pisses me off. And what else pisses me off is people that come up to you and brag to you about shit that they know nothing about. Like you have those assholes that know somebody that has a car that like I had a guy come up to me one time and he told me that a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of his had this Monte Carlo. It was a 1980 Monte Carlo and they ran the quarter mile in 3 seconds. It was so fast and it had the biggest big block in the world in it. And I'm like, go away. Get away from me. I know you're full of shit. I can spot somebody like that from a mile the fuck away because they have "I'm a dumbass" stamped on their forehead. And then on their fucking cheeks they have "I'm a liar" stamped on there. Or "I'm a bullshitter. I'm full of shit." So, yeah, these people, they're the kind of people that troll you, from their mommy's basement. Because they're watching videos in mommy's basement in between playing Need for Speed Online. And they're all out here, bitching because they're jealous of people's shit. Of course, there'll be people in here saying, "Oh, you're jealous of rich people." I'm not jealous at all. I just don't like the fact that they're living off the lower middle class and they're benefiting. And we're the ones flipping the fucking bill for them. And we are. If you work a job, you're a blue-collar fucking worker. You work a job for any kind of business, whether you're picking up trash in a neighborhood with a trash truck, or if you're driving a dump truck down the road delivering coal or gravel, or if you're working on a strip job, if you're mining, if you're working in a factory, manufacturing stuff, they are living off you. They're living off your tax dollars that you are forced to pay in. And that's why, I always say you need to get this current administration of douchebags out of there because they're all, don't get me started. I'm not even going to get started on them. They're all douchebags. But they're all rich. They're all living off of us like leeches. And there's just some days I try to push this all down, try to push it down. And all of a sudden it just breaks the barrier and comes up. And then I'm like, "Argh!" I'm pissed all day long about it. And all I do is sit around and think about it. And it makes me even more mad. and I get so fucking annoyed. And then people push my buttons, and it just pisses me off even more. And I got to get away. I got to run away. I got to go to my sanctuary, which is here, which is my fucking garage. It ain't much. It's a shithole. It's falling down. I try to do what I can to try to keep the place up as much as I can. But, folks, if you're out there building your own shit, and you're paying bills, and you have mouths to feed, I totally have the utmost respect for your build. I never go around and slur anybody's stuff. I'll look at your stuff, and if I have opinion about it, I will keep it to myself just for the sake of argument. I will keep it to myself. If I don't like it, I'll have a conversation with myself about it. And I'll be like, God damn, that was horrific. That was stupid. Or, if I see something that's ridiculous, like on that fucking Autotopia, some of the builds on there are just, they're rich guys' builds. And they just, oh my God, I had the so-and-so speed shop do this and that to my car. It's like, okay. And then you're going to take it to a show and get trophies? That's like going to the dealership and buying a new Challenger and taking it to a car show and winning trophies with it. You didn't do a fucking thing to that son of a bitch but pay for it and put gas in it. What the fuck? They should have restrictions at car shows like that. Hey, did you build that? Did you even paint it? It's like, hey, I painted it. Show me proof that you painted it or that you did some mechanical stuff. I mean, a lot of them will go out and they'll get a new car and they'll put bolt-ons on it and they'll go out and rip and tear, which that's what they used to do back in the 60s. They'll go out and buy a car. You go out there and buy a GTO, go downtown and, get a set of Doug's headers and put on it and, put a glass pack exhaust on it or whatever and, put a set of bigger, fatter fucking tires on it and go rip and tear with it. That's fine. That's all right. But don't come to a car show with your brand new car. Hey, I had a set of wheels put on this thing and new tires. Oh, really? That's great. But what else did you do to it? Well, nothing. Then it's like, it's kind of tough to be hard on some people that go out there and they'll buy new stuff, but then they'll put like bolt-on stuff on it. That's fine. I respect that. But does anybody really want to look at it? Does anybody want to see it? There are a few that do. Guys like me don't really, because I would rather go out, get something that's kind of shitty, and do something to it to get it on the road. Like my Crown Victoria out here, the old white one I call Grandma. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot to it. I put a gas tank on it. And I basically did stuff to get it roadworthy again. Other than that, I did exhaust on it. I put exhaust on it, my own exhaust, my own mufflers I made. I got a gas tank, fuel pump, and a sending unit off eBay and replaced the old stuff. And I changed the oil and I tuned up the engine. That's all I did. And I hooked up some wiring so it would have spark, so it would run. It's got a shitty fuel injection setup on it. I'm going to change here sometime if I ever run into the money or the parts to. I'm going to start looking for some Ford parts. I'm not too familiar with the 302 Ford small block, but I'm going to start familiarizing myself with it soon. But yeah, it kind of upsets me it doesn't really upset me. It annoys me to see things like that on there. Now the other build I was talking about, I'll show you it. This other build. See, this is fucking commercials. I don't buy this stuff. Now this is the build I was talking about right here that is fucking fantastic. This guy did all this stuff himself. He scabbed shit together. It's fucking awesome. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I respect. right here. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not bad.
Hey guys,
It's
what's
fucking
up? It's
awesome.
Sean, Autotopia LA. My
Must
buddy
be hot out
Danny
there. That guy's
works
sweating.
next door at my neighbor Dennis McCarthy's, where they do all the Fast and Furious vehicles, as well as they just build. These guys build nonstop. This is Danny.
He apparently works for a place that builds this shit.
Judy.
I see you looking at Trudy Judy's booty.
It's always fun for me with guys like you that when you take the time to build your own thing, it's usually something really completely and totally off the wall.
I actually finished this the week before I started doing all the special effects vehicles.
Oh, really?
So this was kind of my resume.
Number one, what year and what the hell is it?
So this is a 1948 International KB5. It was a dump truck on an avocado farm. Look at the roof, half of it's green, the other half of it is rusty because it had the big dump bed that hung over the top and it protected it from the sun. I traded it actually just the truck alone, which actually came with a C4 Corvette chassis with a 350, which...
Now see, that's fucking awesome. That is awesome. I mean, that guy works for a place that, basically builds movie cars. And, he gets his hands dirty. He does this stuff. I mean, Jesus. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. The guy does this stuff. It's fucking cool. That's what I'm talking about right there. But he makes... Yeah, I'd say he probably really makes some good money doing that work, which my hat's off to him. I totally respect him. But most of these guys you see a lot of that have extremely nice cars with perfect fucking paint jobs and perfect this and perfect that, chances are they had a shitload of money. They went out and bought it already done, or they bought something off somebody else and they took it somewhere and had it done. Because, I mean... There's no shame in enjoying the hobby. But if you're going to fucking run around with that kind of stuff, don't sit around and brag up how you did this or did that, because chances are a lot of these people didn't do shit to it. They took it somewhere and had it done. I know a few people who show up at car shows who haven't even turned a bolt on anything. I met a couple of them at that car show yesterday. A lot of those people down there, they just went out and bought stuff. Hey, I'm going to take this out and show, because a lot of them have ego fucking issues. Hey, look at me, huh? In this area I live in, there's a lot of assholes with douchebaggy egos that, go out there and buy stuff and then have no fucking clue what they have. And they bought it because they saw it on TV or some shit. So I talked to a guy down there who had an old Ford car. It was just a basic old, it was like an early 50s Ford. You see it on there if you watch the video. It's like a maroon color. And it has a 350 in it. And the guy's like, well, that's how I bought it. And I'm like, okay, well. I said, well, you bought something pretty good. I said, it has a reliable fucking engine in it. Is all I was referring to. And the guy was kind of a smart dick about it. Well, that's how it was when I bought it. Okay, all right, that's great. But what did you do to it? Nothing. Turned the key and drove it. That's what he did. Tagged it up in his name, had a title redone. All right. I'm not going to sit here and slur everybody and say that everybody's wrong. I'm not right most of the time. I'm sharing my opinion here. But these people tend to annoy the fucking shit out of me. If you're going to buy something, it's sat in somebody's yard for years, and you get it, you bring it home, you basically bring it back from the dead because you need something to run, or you just feel like you want to get into the hobby and do it. I am behind you 110%. I support you. I support your decision. It's great. It makes you feel good to get something and bring it back to life because it's been off the road for 15 or 20 years. You bring it back to life. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. I like doing that shit. I don't have a lot of time to do that stuff. The stuff that it's like when I bought that Crown Vic, I bought it off some people I knew. Because I was working over there in Morgantown, running a street sweeper at the time. And the place that I would take my stuff to fuel, because we had an account there, the company I worked for, we had an account at this fuel station. And they got to tell me about this car. They're like, you got that great big Mercury. Like, would you like to get a Crown Victoria? And it's like, what year is it? 83. And I went to look at it. And the guy said, it's my mother-in-law's car. Well, it was my father-in-law's car, but he got dementia, went in a nursing home, passed away. He got it from a dealership where he worked. It was a used car. It was a trade-in, and he got it because he really liked it. And they had a tarp covering over the half Landau type roof that it's got, that vinyl roof. And they protected it for years. He had a tarp on it, had it tied down to the car. He would go out and start it until he got to the point where he really couldn't do a whole lot. He couldn't, think for himself or do anything for himself anymore. Then he eventually died, and the car sat there and sat on blacktop like on a hill, and everything ran out from under it. When it rained, everything was dirt, everything was run out from under it. I mean, some critters got in there, and I'd seen where other people would try to get it running but couldn't get it running, and it's because the gas tank was rusted clear to pieces inside. It was so bad. I mean, it was just nothing but rust in there. I don't even know how it didn't rot through. And you could see that it had that ethanol fuel in it, and it evaporated, and whatever was left in there, water, whatever, and expired terrible gasoline just ate everything to hell in there. So I looked at it, seen how awesome the interior was in it, and right away when I seen that tarp, the first thing I thought was, it's leaking water inside. The floors are ate out. And he's like, oh no. He's like, they did that to protect that tarp. And they weren't lying. And I was like, well, the guys wouldn't lie to me. I know them. They're good folks. Hopefully they're going to come to the cruise this year. I'm going to send them a message on their, I have them on my messenger. I'm going to send them a message and see if they're going to show up this year or not. So, yeah. We'll see what happens there. But it was a good feeling getting it to run again. I didn't do it all by myself because I am not a Ford guy. I'm like this. If it runs, it'll get my ass back and forth to work. I'll get it. I'll use it. I try to do American because I don't like foreign cars. I just don't like foreign stuff. And speaking of foreign, well, I'll just tell you now, my brother-in-law helped me get it to run. Because I would get it, it would run, and it would shut off. It kept doing it over and over. And here there were some wires back there along the firewall that some critters had chewed off. And we reconnected these wires with butt connectors and all that stuff. And he helped me get it to run. And it would idle, and it was a great feeling. But going back to the Europe thing, that guy on that, with the Camaro on the Autotopia video, he keeps saying the word European-inspired sports cars. He's basically saying that just about every goddamn car that we put out in the 60s and 70s was European-inspired. Fuck you. I don't hate Europe, but our forefathers left there because of all the taxes they were paying. And they started their own country. They got away from the tyranny of King Asshole George over there. And then, turn around and you got some asshole today turn around saying everything that we have is European based. Like, fuck it is. Look here. Look. Is that European based? I don't hardly think so. Is that European based? Hell, fuck no. Is that out there? No. European. Pee on European. I have no problem with those people over there. But I'm going to tell you, it took them a while to learn from our guys over here when they tried to take our country over eons ago. That their barrels weren't long enough on their fucking guns. They couldn't fucking shoot us. I'm talking like I was there. Their barrels on their guns weren't long enough. Who wears red and white fucking coats and clubs on a drum through the woods? fighting a war. Who fucking does that? Idiots, that's who. The colonials were dressed up in fucking green and stuff, hiding up in the woods. They would scout these motherfuckers out and shoot them from a distance with their really long fucking barreled flintlocks. Oh, why did we win that war? Fuck me. Can you be any dumber? God. And then turn around and say everything's European based that we got. Oh, I'm sure we fucking adapted the goddamn metric system for some fucking reason. God, I hate the metric system. It sucks. I had a guy tell me one time, wouldn't you rather have the metric system on your tools? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. 1/4 inch, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16. I like our system of measurement. Inches, not centimeters, not meters. Miles, not kilometers. No. You can keep that. You want to keep that? Fine. I'll stick with American measurement. That's what it's all about. That's why we left over there. That's why our forefathers left. Made up their own shit. We don't need your fucking tea, cocksuckers. But fuck, this rant is over with. I've cooled off a little bit. Upsets me to no end when assholes like that have money hanging out of their ass have a car built and then sit around and brag it the fuck up to some other person. It's like, fuck off. You don't like the United States? Get on out. I'll help you pack your shit. Go. You don't want to fucking live here. You don't like our flag? Fucking get out. We don't need you here. Go up to Canada. They seem like they're nice and woke these days. Go to Mexico if you like fighting with drug lords. That's a cartel-run country right there. That in Central America, down there in fucking Beirut. We'll go down there. I'll go down there and enjoy the drug war. Get your fentanyl. That's all right. Well, you won't have to worry about going down there to get it done. It's already here. It's here everywhere. So now I'm getting on a different subject that's just going to piss me off even more. So anyhow, if you like this, fine. Anyhow, if you like this, fine. If you don't, I really don't give a shit. I'm here for entertainment purposes. I'm just telling you what I think, and if you don't like it, that's fine. And another thing, let me get your guys' opinion on this. Now, I was told by my wife last night that my Blue Beast here was tacky. My truck is very tacky and ridiculous because of my license plate door panels. Now, I've had several compliments on this interior places I went. I want to know what my viewers think. Well, as you can see, I got stickers all over the fucking cab of this bitch. And behind the seats, I got them. I don't know if you can see them. There's a couple back there. I have to add more. I want more. I gotta have more. Anyway, and you know, this is one of my quick fixes here, one of my redneck fixes, but you know, I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. But she came right out last night and told me, she asked me, she goes, why did you take that truck to that car show? I said, because I wanted to. I said, why? Is it a problem? And we kind of got in an argument over it. I said, why? I said, what's wrong with the truck? I don't like the license plates. The license plates it's tacky. It looks tacky. I said, okay. And then I never said nothing else about it. I thought, well, it's like this. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody thinks everybody else's stinks. So I don't agree with that. I don't think it looks tacky at all. I mean, the truck is loud as far as going down the road and people seeing it. It is loud. It stands out. Plus, if I can ever get this shit finished, I just have a 2x4 there to kind of control things that I haul, so don't slide into my fuel cell. But anywho, if you like this, I like that sticker. I had to have that on there. And the eyeball with the wings, I had to add that. That was cool. But anyway, if you like that, if you like what I'm doing, just like, share, comment, and subscribe to it. And I want to thank all my subscribers. I got even more here in the last couple weeks. Almost to 500. I'm pretty close to 500. I think on 500, I think I can start getting paid for the commercial advertisements. I think. I would have to look into it a little further. I'd have to see that. But yeah, I got off on a rant here. And I'm going to have to stop this nonsense and go lift weights, because that was my intention. So I would like to lift at least 3 times a week if I can, maybe 4 if I have time, and see if I just can't get myself back in shape here. Through my 30s, I was in really good shape. I lifted weights every fucking day. I ate whatever I want because I could. My body would just burn it up. I was in pretty good shape back then. Now that I'm in my 40s, I'm in bad shape here. I'm still in decent shape. I don't get sick anymore. I don't want to brag that up and jinx myself, but I did get the COVID vaccine, unfortunately. Mine was the Johnson & Johnson, and then I had a Moderna booster. I don't know if it was an actual vaccine or if it was just saline they pumped into my arm. I don't know. There's a lot of controversy over that these days. I have no idea what that's all about, or what, if it's real or not, or if they're just trying to thin the population with it. I would say more than likely they're trying to thin the population because Bill Gates is a crazy old cocksucker and he needs put in a fucking padded room and a straitjacket. That's what he needs, because he's very rich and very dangerous person. He needs to put away. But ever since I got that vaccine and that booster, I haven't had so much as a snivel. I haven't got a cold. I don't get sick. I mean, I get sour stomach from the garbage that I eat sometimes, but that's normal. But as far as like the common cold, I haven't had the common cold in years. I haven't had the common cold since probably 2020. Sometimes I wake up, I'm kind of stuffy, and I blow my nose. It's gone. It's all gone. I've sat out here and I've shoveled snow in the ice cold and came in to the heat. That usually sets it off. That usually will give you a cold, but it didn't. Because usually when you sweat out in the cold, and then you get cold, and then you go in and get hot again, it's hot, cold, it usually brings on bacteria that gives you the snivels, but it never happened. So your guess is as good as mine. Shouldn't say that too loud. The government will probably trying to come after me and arrest me and put me in some kind of weird testing program. Keep me away from my family and my fucking hobbies here and try to murder me or some shit. Because, they're all good for that. They're trying to kill off half the population anyway. Soros and all those motherfucking psychotic fucking people that want to run the country on a digital currency basis so they can all stay filthy rich and you can stay poor as fuck. So, alright, everybody. anybody. Everybody, have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Like this shit, comment, subscribe to it if you haven't. And I'll see you on the next one.